Good morning, cats. Look at the sunshine this morning. It is November, first week of November. It's kind of chilly. See, I got a jacket on. The leaves, for the most part, are falling. Probably 90% of the leaves are on the ground. And today, though, oddly, I'm going to get a lawnmower. Well, there's a story behind it. My mom and dad recently moved out of their house. They had a nice little acreage, and we'll show you that in a little bit. But they had a mower that they mowed with. Oh, actually, they had a couple of them. They had a bigger tractor, and then they had one of these zero turns. So when they sold the house, they sold it to a friend of ours, and my dad made an arrangement with him that he could keep the zero turn mower until the end of the mowing season. At that point, I would get the zero turn mower. So that day has come. I think mowing is pretty well done around here. So, and I'm sure it is at his place too. So we're going to get the mower over here, get it tucked in for the winter. And I'm heading over there now to meet my dad and Matt. And we're going to make that exchange. So let's go. We're almost there. This is the old homestead where I didn't grow up because I was out of the house before they moved out here. But I've spent a lot of time out here. My brothers were raised out here, and it's been in the family, oh, I don't know, many, many years. Here's the house. All well landscaped, pretty little place. A lot of acreage here. I think he's got at least 12 acres. We're gonna hook up to that trailer over there, load the mower on it. Well, we got the trailer hooked up, and the problem we had was when I hooked up the electric cable. I have the electric fixture here, and I hooked it up to the truck, and it was locking up the trailer brakes, so we were skidding the wheels. So I unplugged the power. Of course, the thing has no tail lights anyway, so unplug the lights, we're good to go. Now we got to figure out how to get the mower up on there, so we're going to have to see if we can scrounge up some boards or something. But that'll be step number 2. You got some boards laying around here somewhere?
I think there's some in the barn.
Well, we'll have to go in and look. So, step 2. Okay, there's the mower back there. It's tucked in the corner. So, see what we can find. All right, see if we can get this off. We backed into the hill so that we don't have the slope to deal with. So the boards are almost level, so it should come right off of there. I'm on my way home now. Big job it turned out to be. They had this fountain over at the old house. It was a cowboy. Yeah, it was a cowboy holding a lasso or something, and there was a pool of water in front of him, and it was kind of a rustic looking statue, but the little pool would fill up with water, and then there was a like an old time pump next to the cowboy, and the water would, you know, trickle out of there like a little waterfall and make a little gurgling noise. And they've had that statue over there in front of their house for years and years and years and years and years, and the kids always played in it. The kids would climb up in the flower bed and they would play in there. They would throw rocks in there and dig rocks out of the water, and they would end up getting soaking wet, but they just had the time of their lives playing in that old little fountain. So my mom and dad decided, well, we want to keep the fountain. Matt said that he would bring it over and drop it off at their new place, but he never got the chance to do that. Matt's remodeling the house that he bought off of them, and his hands are full. He's doing a great job in there of just, you know, stripping everything out and remodeling, and needed it. The house was old, and he's doing a great job in there. But anyway, I told them I would get the fountain over to their new condo for them today, and it comes apart in 3 pieces. So, wow, the cowboy comes off the top. That was the easy part. He probably weighed about, let's say 40 pounds or something. Well, then I had to take the little basin off of there that holds the water, and that thing had to weigh 100 pounds or more. I couldn't really pick it up, so I had to walk it on the ground. It was all concrete, very heavy. And then there was a base for the thing that the pool sat on, that sat off the ground probably about, I don't know, 18 inches or so. And that base itself had to weigh a good 90 pounds. So I had to get all that loaded in the truck, which I did. Some of it went right in the back seat. It was just easier to slide it in the back seat than it was to get it up on the tailgate. And then I got it over to their house and I rolled it right out and into their garage. So that back-breaking task is done now. And I'm on my way home to get some lunch. And I think V and I might take a walk this afternoon or something. Something we can do together, fun. It's a little aerobic, get a little exercise in, get our blood flowing, get stimulated. It's a pretty day. All right, cats, all the work is done. That moving that statue was a job. Now it's time for some play. I brought my sidekick along with me. What are we doing?
We're going to take a hike.
Take a hike on the
Lester Rail Trail.
Yeah. And probably go, what, about 5 miles?
Well, we're going to try. Remember, we set a goal We talked about it.
And we're going to try to do 4 miles and see how that goes. And if we can go further, we will.
Yeah, there you go.
So, this is the Lester Rail Trail. So it's, you know, it used to be like an old railroad. And they've turned it into a trail. So that pretty much means it's a straightaway. But it's good for us for walking. Because we don't have to worry about stumbling over roots or climbing up steep banks and stuff on like a regular foot hiking trail. So this is like a good, you could pick up a good pace on these trails. They're made so you could ride a bicycle on them, I guess, although we don't see a lot of bicycles on this trail. But it's a nice long stretch, so it'll give us the miles that we want.
And it's wooded on both sides, so it's you still see nature.
Yeah, so we'll get our our blood pumping, get some blood flowing to our brains, and it'll make us smarter and
work up an appetite. We're having steak burgers for dinner.
Yum. Well, let's get going.
Okay.
Which way are we going?
We're going that way. We have to cross the road.
All right. As we go along our walk, we kind of look for cool things, and this is kind of a straight long trail, so you got to look off to the side. You'll see these things, you might think it's a skull or something laying there, these big white things. No, these are puffballs. They're a mushroom, and they're fleshy, and it's edible. You can fry that up in butter and eat it. Used to collect those, and the kids and I would slice them up, fry them in butter.
Oh my gosh.
They're yummy.
Just like a meringue.
It's just like a regular mushroom.
Oh my goodness.
Just huge, enormous. One size feeds the whole family. Of course, puffballs, what happens is that those are in their edible form, but as they sit there in the woods, give them a week or two, they'll turn real brown and they'll dry out and they'll split, and all of that white pulpy stuff in the middle turns into like powder and spores, and as the rain drops hit that, poofs out little clouds of spores that spread out into the woods. And that's how it continues to regenerate itself.
You're so smart. Jeez.
That's a big leaf.
What kind is it?
I believe that's a sycamore.
Of course you would know. Looks like a dinosaur leaf to me.
Yeah. That's a bald-faced hornet nest up in that tree.
Wow.
We were looking at the leaves on this maple here, how pretty it is, and just happened to look up, and it was like, Oh, look there.
Just blowing away in the
A
breeze.
hornet nest. Look at all the black walnuts. Cool. And there's the walnut tree. Not a nut left on it. They're all on the ground.
Some of those are huge.
Yeah, they're about the size of tennis balls, actually.
Do the squirrels eat those?
Squirrels will eat them, yep. Now the question may arise, can you eat black walnuts? Like the ones we saw laying back there on the ground? Sure. They're messy, very messy. First of all, you gotta get that husk off there. And it stains, it'll turn your fingers brown, so you gotta wear rubber gloves. I don't know that anybody's come up with a perfect method to get those husks off, but once you get the husks off, you get down to the shell. And those shells are hard as a rock. You almost have to crack them open with a hammer or something, or a big kind of a nutcracker. And then the wild black walnuts, like those back there, they won't have a lot of meat in them, but you will get some out of there. They have a very, very rich flavor. Very good if you like walnuts. Not like English walnuts. They have a much richer flavor. But good.
That's it.
Now we come upon something different here.
They smell like citrus.
Those are Osage orange. What'd you say you called them?
Monkey balls.
Monkey balls. They
And
come.
for some reason, they're hazardous to cats, I've heard. You have to keep them away from
Yeah, the other thing I heard, that if you put these in your house, that keeps the spiders away. They smell good. They have a very citrusy smell. Now, here's something else you may not have known about Osage orange. This little tree right here is the Osage orange tree, and it is a very, very, very hard wood. The Indians would try to find, the straightest sections of that, and they would carve their bows out of that because it's such a strong wood. They can stretch their bows back without them snapping.
How do you know all this stuff?
They made them out of Osage orange.
Oh my gosh.
In this part of the country anyway, which is northeast Ohio. Now there's a strange mushroom for you, growing straight up out of the ground. That was just a hair over 4 miles. You got your map there?
I do.
There's the Map My Walk version. It was a return on the same trail, so we started at one end, went all the way down, turned around, then went all the way back again to this point.
Yeah, we did get our 10,000 steps.
Whew. We got our 10,000 steps all right. Now we can head home and chill for a little bit.
Hope you liked our video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Just hit that like button. Also, subscribe because you don't want to miss any future videos that we do. And share us with your friends because they might like us too. Most important though, make your life a great adventure.